Good morning. So this video is being recorded from Shanghai, China. Look at the beautiful skyline there. This is in the morning of Sunday, the 3rd of May. As you can see by the title of this video, it's going to be my experience as a black man visiting China. This is the first time I've been to China, so I just wanted to go out there and share my experience from at least the time I've been here. I'll be catching the flight back to South Africa via Singapore later on today. So yeah, I just thought I could sit down and get a chance to reflect and share my genuine experiences. For a bit of context, on this trip I was not traveling alone, so it was myself, my partner and my baby girl. So it was the three of us. The vast majority of the trip we were together, but there were situations where each of us were doing their own thing, just to explore and see the country. So what I'm going to be sharing is mainly from my perspective. For context, I'm also traveling or coming from South Africa, which has got a very different racial makeup compared to China. China, it's mostly or mainly Chinese citizens and Chinese nationals. In South Africa, it's a bit different. Upwards of 80, close to 90% is predominantly the black population, varying in different degrees depending on the culture or tribe. And then there is also the white population, which I would roughly guess is just less than 10% of the population. But we also have Indians, and we also do have the colored community. Just to give a bit of context of the different racial makeup South Africa has, and my experience here in China. So yeah, to keep it short, China has been nothing but amazing. This trip here really has been eye-opening for me, and I've really had an amazing experience. For one, if any Chinese nationals are watching this, the one thing that I deeply appreciate from my experience in this trip is the courtesy that the Chinese have shown to us as foreign nationals, traveling through Shanghai. We visited as many different places as we could, but the courtesy really stood out. For example, I had a couple of situations when I was at the train station, and I had bags. In most cases it was like maybe one or even two bags, but in most cases it would be like one bag. But you find a random guy on the train station comes through, even though the English is poor, they don't speak English at all, it's mainly Mandarin. They'll come through and offer to help. Like, are you fine, sir? Are you fine with your luggage? Do you mind if I help you carry it? What country are you from? Where are you going to? So that really stood out. And like I said, this happened more than once, even in cases where I only had one bag that I could carry and manage on my own, but I still went out of the way to show that courtesy. Like I did mention also that we're traveling with a baby girl, and same thing on the trains. The trains would be packed, but people would go out of the way, to say no, I'll stand and you guys can sit down, type of thing. So the courtesy really stood out, and thank you very much to that, to the Chinese for showing us that level of courtesy. This would be coming from old guys, like old men would even feel bad, like, no, you don't have to, but they would insist. And going to even young kids, looking at teenagers, at some point they had to leave their seat, and then they decided to not really stand, but they yeah, they basically stood right next to us and ended up like sitting on the floor. You know, these two young kids, they're like, no guys, please sit, you know. And these are not like, I would say, like, I don't know, poor kids. I mean, if you're using the top of the range iPhone on the train and you decide to give it up for a black stranger that you don't even know at all, I mean, well, it's a stranger, but yeah, you decide to give up just to say, guys, no, sit. That really stood with us, and for that I would really like to say thank you. And to be honest, man, it feels like there's a lot we haven't been taught about China, maybe because we're coming from a pro-Western, pro-capitalist country, so our education maybe leans towards that. But there's a lot we haven't been taught, and by going out and you see on your own, there really is a lot that you get to learn and see. As you can see on these streets here, this is one of the busiest streets. It's an area called the Bund. This place is extremely clean, not even a piece of paper that you see on the road. And this is true for pretty much every other corner of Shanghai that we went to. This place is well maintained. You know, the people are very respectful. One of the things we're concerned about being black, you know, was what if we'll be getting those stares, you know, as a black man, like, hey, what's going on, where are you going, who are you, as we expect in South Africa. I mean, I've lived in Cape Town for the longest of time, or for a fair bit of time, at least in my adult age, and you'd get those side eyes. You know, you walk through Clifton, you walk through Kemps Bay, you know, you're the suspect before you've even said a word. Just by you being black, you're already getting the side eye. And my experience here has been different. You know, I tried to think of a better way to explain it, but I really couldn't come up with the right words. So how I felt is like, you know, the Chinese are like one of the first few nationalities, you know, that really go out of their way to treat you just like, you know, a regular human being. Not to say they go out of the way, but just the indifference in them, you know, seeing you as a black person doing your own thing, they're managing their own thing, they're going about their life, right? But in South Africa, it's a different story, depending on where you are as a black man. There are places where the moment you walk in, you really start to feel, you know, like you don't belong, or you shouldn't be here. And we feel that sometimes it even goes way beyond words. But here in China, it's been different. You know, you can go about your day, walk around the streets, no one bothers you, no one is bothered by you, and it's nothing short of amazing. And yeah, the other thing also is the progress this country has made. I was looking at some statistics, and you find that they've taken about 800 million people, close to 1 billion people, out of poverty, or out of extreme poverty. So the country really has worked hard, you know, to ensure prosperity for the citizens. And this is what you get. Look at this. High up here, this is the Shanghai Tower. Up there. Tallest building in China. I'm gonna try zoom in a bit here. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah. Massive respect for pedestrians. Everywhere you go, there really is respect for pedestrians. People just don't cut, jump, you know, and then almost kill you. So yeah, man, China has blown my mind, and more than anything, it really has challenged my, you know, my education, if I can put it bluntly. Because there's a lot of things that you see that you really wouldn't expect, because obviously you don't know, and you've never been told, and you don't know any better. So to be honest, my experience in China really has been beautiful. This is my first time in Shanghai, and trust me, I do see myself coming here very soon. Just to get to see the place more, experience it a bit more. On the issue of security, as I was going up and down, I had to ask myself, do these people even know that there's a thing called crime? But yeah, you feel safe, man. You wake up at 5 in the morning. If you wanna go out, it's up to you. You come back at close to midnight. You can walk pretty much every corner of the place you want to. You never have to look over your shoulder at any given time, because it's that safe. You know, there is security presence pretty much everywhere you go. There is also the police presence everywhere you go. So there's beautiful Shanghai Tower. Now I'm going to continue walking towards the busy Nanjing Road. I think I probably would have cut the video by the time I get there, just so I don't keep it too long. But yeah, I just wanted to recount my experiences and just share a glimpse of what I've seen while in China. Hopefully inspire you guys to one day, you know, travel China, visit China, get to meet locals, meet in public spaces and restaurants, and just have your own unique experience and get to see for yourself what China really is like on the ground. The other thing also is the transport system. Believe it or not, ever since I got to China, approaching now 2 weeks, I have not seen the inside of a car. I have not been inside a car from the day I landed at the airport up to now when I'm about to leave the country. I have not been inside a car. This is simply because they've got a fully functional railway system, the metro slash the subway. And guess what? It's so cheap, it's next to nothing. So because of that, it has allowed us to explore pretty much all the 4 corners of Shanghai without any stress. Every place I'd want to go to, it's within a couple of minutes reach via the subway, which is extremely efficient, extremely affordable. There is a train coming every like 3 minutes, give or take, and the prices are ridiculously low. And then from there you just go into the next station or connect if you have to, and then you just walk to your destination. So the transport system is extremely efficient, extremely affordable too, and it is extremely clean. The other thing would be when it comes to cost. Also worth noting, this is Shanghai at the end of the day. So because of that, it's a touristy area, not only for international tourists but also for domestic tourists. So because of that, prices might be a little bit on the higher end compared to other areas in China. I'm not saying it's expensive, no it's not. It could easily go toe to toe with Cape Town, perhaps even a little bit cheaper in some places. So this is the bund. Look how beautiful this is. Clean. So yeah, I think for brevity I'm going to leave it over here, and I'll do a part 2 of the same video where I also do kind of highlight some of the concerns or the issues that we had. Not everything is sunshine and roses, obviously. You know, each and every place has got its own problems and challenges. So the part 2, I'm going to do a bit of a deeper dive just to show you some of the things that really affected us. But yeah, before I cut this video, I'm going to just walk for another minute or two, just to do a walkthrough of the bund area, and then you get to see what Shanghai, China looks like for a black man. It's beautiful. Let me zoom out a bit here. Okay, but let's see. Okay, thank you for watching this. I'm going to cut it here. Bye.